Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles of great mercy that rule well. Salutations to the hopeful and sincere elect. Alright, this is Mission.com. Just want to do a quick edification and a quick exhortation for the elect's sake. Alright, so I get straight into it. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 7, verse 16. It says, "Number not thyself among the multitude of sinners, but remember that wrath will not tarry long." Yes, so don't make yourself accustomed to be in the company of two-thirds, alright, of sinners, because the things that they do are not pleasing unto the Most High. And as the scripture said, every day the Most High bring his judgment to light, alright. And two-thirds, they always indulge in practices that totally contrary to the Most High, wicked. And the scripture said to hate evil vehemently. Alright, they might like to go parties, go in clubs, go boat rides, and the conversation not fitting as become, it seems. Alright, they speak about adulteries, about stealing, about murdering. Alright, the conversation of the world, alright, it's contrary to the conversation of the truth. Alright, so the scripture said, "Don't number not thyself among the multitude of sinners, but remember that wrath will not tarry." And we in the time of judgment. And the Most High beginning to judge Israel. Alright? The Most High beginning to judge Israel. So when you keep numbering yourself among two-thirds and the Most High bringing his judgment, guess what? You might get caught up in that judgment. Alright? I mean, the angels might be there, to protect you, to save your life. But guess what? You could have avoided that situation by not making yourself accustomed in their congregation. Alright? Really and truly, we're not even supposed to be going in the clubs. So brothers not supposed to be in the clubs. Alright? This is the time for pushing the truth. Alright? As much as you could, the scripture said to be at peace with all men. You might have to work around two-thirds, but as much as you could keep from among them, that will be, it will be golden. Alright? Because numbering yourself among two-thirds right now is not the thing to be doing. Alright? Because the Most High judging, you see the Most High bringing his judgment on two-thirds. And if you keep, might have this cousin that you was cool with from the world, and you're always going out with that person, and they're going out with their friends. And guess what? That could turn bad. Because whereas you would be around brothers and the archer might see a situation escalating and they might try to de-escalate it, they might spit on that fire, a two-third might actually blow on the coals and actually cause the fire to ignite even more. Alright? So numbering yourself among two-thirds, it's not wise. Alright? It's not wise. This is Proverbs chapter 9 verse 6. It says, "Forsake the foolish and live, and go in the way of understanding." So the scripture said to forsake the foolish and live. Alright? So be among men of the same mindset. Alright? Forsake the foolish and live, and walk in the way of understanding. Because you see that the lifestyle two-thirds living is not according to the scriptures. Alright? They have this saying, YOLO, one life to live. So they live like they have to do the most with their life. The most wickedness that they could do in one lifetime, they out to do that. Alright? And wrath from the Most High will come upon them. But for you to be, always congregating around them, you actually increasing the chance of you being partakers or being caught up in that judgment. Alright? The Most High told just Lot to leave, to take his family and leave. Alright? Because why? Because Lot, the scripture said, just Lot, he was vexed with the conversation of the wicked. Alright? So the Most High took him away from there. Alright? But guess what? It's easy for you to get caught up with what them doing. Alright? You might be enticed to do their wickedness. We in this flesh, you might be enticed to do the wickedness that they're doing. This is Proverbs 4 verse 14. "Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil men. Avoid it, pass not by it. Turn from it, pass away." All right, because they might entice you. The scriptures talk about, that's the woman that speaketh sweetly with her lips. All right, if you are wrong, if you, let me say, you working with a woman and she has a husband, the woman looking fine as hell, but she trying to entice you to commit adultery, and you always in her, in her presence, you're always talking to her, you're always hanging out with her. Guess what? She might entice you to sin. But the scripture says, sit not at all with another man's wife. So you have to remember the scriptures. That way the scripture says, turn from it and go in the way of understanding. All right? Because these people, they contrary to the ways of the Most High. So the more you are wrong 2/3, the more they might cause you to go off and cause you to get caught up with their judgment. All right? So really the people you're supposed to be congregating yourself with is the men that in the same mindset, the men that preaching the doctrine, the same doctrine as Great Millstone. All right, the whole truth. All right, and there's the final precept here. This is Right, this is Proverbs chapter 12 verse 26. It says, the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. All right, so the way of the wicked would seduce the righteous man. It would entice you to go off. All right, and I just want to look up a few translations for Proverbs 12:26. All right, well, King James Version, it says the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. New King James says the righteous should choose his friends carefully, for the way of the wicked leads them astray. So you have to choose your friends carefully. All right, the NASB, it says the righteous is a guide to his neighbor. All right, so if you're a guide to your neighbor, then you're gonna guide them through the truth. All right, the NLT, it says the godly give good advice to their neighbors, but the wicked lead them astray. Yeah, because the wicked not gonna teach them things concerning how to have life. You're gonna teach them how to go down that bad path. All right. The RSV, it says a righteous man turns away from evil, but the way of the wicked leads them astray. NIV, the righteous choose their friends carefully, but the way of the wicked leads them astray. All right. So it's about being wise. All right. It's about being wise, walking that path that lead into life. All right, so choose your friends carefully and choose your path carefully. When you look up the word excellent, it means what? To seek, search out, or spy out, or explore. All right, so guess what? The righteous, as one of the translations says, he will choose his friends carefully. And being in this truth, you have to choose your friends carefully, because remember that wrath does not tarry long. All right, you have to choose your friend carefully. The scripture said, when thou has a friend, when thou begettest a friend, prove him first. So you have to prove your friends first. Choose your friends carefully. Because it have a saying down here in Trinidad. It says, friends does carry you, but they don't bring you. Alright? They might carry you somewhere, but they're not guaranteed that they're going to bring you back safely. Always have something, some mishap that going to happen, some miscarrying. Alright? Because why? They didn't walk in the way of righteousness. Alright? And when you look up seduce it, when the way of the wicked seduce it, it means to err, to wander, go astray, stagger. So you wander and stagger from the truth. To wander about physically of intoxication. Alright? Because the things of this world is intoxicating. You might look at these things and you might want to do it. Alright? Alright? You might want to do like go parties, go clubs. All right, you might not be accustomed to having beautiful woman, but as soon as Satan jump on this woman, she fine as hell. Satan jump on this woman, and she seem like she interested in you, and you might get enticed to go after her. But guess what? She has a husband. That's why I always stick in these scriptures so that they will keep you in your right mind. All right, to sin, to wander of the mind, to be made to wander about, to be made to stagger, to lead astray, to cause to wander. to cause to wonder, but physically to cause to wonder of intoxication. Alright? So the way of the wicked will cause you to wonder by intoxication. Because why? Because what they're doing, it might be intoxicating to you, might not be strong enough to withstand the wiles of the devil and get caught up. You understand? You'll be drawn away in lust. So the scripture says, forsake the ungodly. Alright? Walk in the way of righteousness. Alright? Don't number yourself in the multitude of sinners. Go not in the way with them. Alright? Stick to men that of like mind. Because as I said, we in the time of judgment, and the Most High beginning to judge Israel. And you don't want to be numbered among them 2/3, then get caught up with their judgment. Alright? So with that, I want to give our praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakakadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles of great mercy, not well. Salutations to the men of the whole plan, sincere elect. This is Makazar saying Shalom.